Good morning, everyone. We are back to class again. Give God the glory for another class work this morning. Now, this morning we are actually looking at a total scheme of work for beginners when it comes to sewing. So, for this morning, we want to start with how to use a measuring tape perfectly when it comes to the graduation of the tape. This is a measuring tape before me, and if you look at this tape clearly, this tape is graduated in inches. From this very place to this point is 1 inch. Here is 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, thereabout until we get to 60 inches. That is for a measuring tape. Now, between 0 and 1 inch, we have about 7 calibrations there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For these 7 calibrations, we have figures for them. Now, if you look at this, you have this is from here, from this point to this place is 1 inch. From 0 to here is 1 inch. So, if you divide 1 by 2, which will give you the middle point of this 1 inch, you have 0.5 inch. That is 0.5 inch. If you divide 0.5 by 2, you have 0.25. And if you divide 0.25 by 2, you have 0.125. So for the calibration or the graduation of this measuring tape in decimal fraction, every space that you have here from this point to this point, the difference between this point and this to this point, this point to this point, this point to this point, this point to this point, from here to here, and thereabout is 0.125 inch. So if you are going to do this calibration perfectly, from here to here is 0.125. From here to this point is 0.25. From here to this point is 0.375. From this zero, this beginning, to this point is 0.5. This 0.5 is half an inch, while 0.25 is quarter of an inch. If you move from this 0 point to this place, you have 0.625. If you move from this 0 point to this place, you have 0.75. If you move from this 0 point to this place, you have 0.875. And if you move from here to this point, you have 1.0 inch. And if you extend it further, if you move from 0 to here, you have 1.125 inch. If you move from this 0 point to this place, you have 1.25 inch. You move from here to this point, you have 1.375 inch. And you move from here to this point, you have 1.5 inches, and so on and so forth. That is how you move until you get to 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, and so on. If you look at the decimal, it is graduated clearly. The first point here is 0. After that, you have 0.125. Next, you have 0.25. Next, you have 0.375. 0.5, which is half an inch. 0.625. 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch. 0.875. Then 1.0. If you want to understand them in words, we call this 1/4 of an inch. And this is half of quarter of an inch. If you come to this point, you have, this is half of an inch. And this point that you have is quarter plus half of quarter of an inch. This one is half of quarter plus half of an inch. While this one is 3/4 of an inch. And here you have 3/4 plus half of quarter. While this place is 1 inch. Let's go to the classwork that we have this month so that we can look at it. Let us trace 2.125 inches in this measuring tape this morning. This is 2 inches. This is 1, 2. Then 125. This first point is 0.125. So this exactly is 2.125 inches. If we are looking at 3.25 inches, we go, this is 1, 2, 3. This is 3 inches. So if the measurement is 3.25 inches, this is 3.125, and this is 3.25, or in other words, you can say 3/4. If you are looking at 4.375 inches, you go to 4 inches. This is 125. This is 25. This is 375. So we are looking at 4.375 inches. That is the third calibration after 4. Before 4.5. So this is 4.375. We are looking at 5.5 inches. That is same thing as 5.5 inches. So for 5.5 inches, which is 5.5 inches, this is the middle of between 5 and 6. So this is 5 inches, then 0.5 inches. Looking at 6.625 inches, this is 6 inches. And 625 is just after 5 inches. If you have 0.125 to 0.5, you have 0.625. So 6.625 inches. That is the first calibration after the 0.5. That is after half of 6 and 7 inches. So this is 6.625 inches. If you want to look at, want to look at 7.75 inches. This is 7 inches. For 7.5, that is the middle. That is the midpoint between the 0.5 and 8 inches. So this is 7.75 inches. 7.75 inches. That is a quarter plus half of an inch will give you 0.75. So this is 7.75 inches. We want to look at the next one, which is 8.875 inches. This is 8 inches. 8.875 is the final phase before you get to 9 inches. So this is 8.5. This is 8.625. This is 8.75. This is 8.875. So this is 8.875 inches. And the final one here is 10.0 inches. So this is just 10.0 inches. If we are looking at a bigger number, okay, let's say we take a measurement, a length of a trouser or a dress thereabout. The length of the dress is 40.625 inches. So we can look at this is 40.125, 40.25, 40.375, 40.5, 40.625, meaning that this very point is the answer to this question. So if you are taking a clear measurement and you want to get it rightly, you can fold it from here and you have your 40.625 very clearly. For example, I just asked somebody, give me 25 and quarter. 25 and quarter should be 25.25. So what we have here is 25.25, which will simply give us 25 and quarter. If I say give me 25 3/4, so 25 3/4 will be 25.75, which will give you something of this nature. These are how we take measurement for sewing a perfect dress. And once you understand how to use your tape perfectly, you have been able to cross one step into becoming a very sought after tailor in the near future. God will help us. We'll be looking forward to our next class by the grace of God.